Right, so my topic
Siri.
is what do you do like when you feel ill? Have you got like any sort of like
Take tablets.
no, like any sort of like rituals or things that you do?
I dance around a fire until my cold goes away.
I'm not talking about like Indian fucking potions and shit.
What
I mean
rituals are you going through?
just stuff you do when you're ill, like you know what I mean.
So like passing the time.
Yeah, well, like if you woke up today and you was is there certain things that you do, or you know what I mean, or like when you was at school,
Okay.
you know what I mean.
It's the school sick days.
Let's talk school sick days. Yeah, we'll talk school sick days.
I used to come downstairs and watch Bad Boys 2 with my dad.
That's weird.
That's a weird one, isn't it? But every time, and school sick days always meant that I could take my quilt downstairs on the couch. Like that was just a thing. Like I'm not staying in bed all day. I'll take my quilt to the couch. That's a big difference.
Why was he never at work? He was a police officer.
I don't know. Bad Boys 2, it was he was doing research. It was homework. I watched Bad Boys 2. Or I'd watch the original Star Wars series. Like, it's just like these films. Jumanji, when I was really young. Like, Jumanji was a really good sick day film. Like, it was that, and if I was like... I used to have this thing with my parents there that I'd be ill, right? And they'd be like, well, if you're that ill, you can't play on computer games or whatever. You can't go on your PlayStation. So I had to watch films. Like, I'm so ill, I can't do this, but I can watch a film. So it was that. But I remember once, I was ill and I was off school, and I'd bought off a catalogue before the days of the internet shopping that I was talking about earlier. I bought from a catalogue Hercules on PlayStation 1, the side scroller. It's really good, and every time you get health, it goes Hercules. I bought that. And the thing with catalogue buying is it could come any time in the next 28 days. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a case of, like, it'll come 5 to 10 working. It was like, it'll come at some point, hopefully this month. But I was ill on the day that it arrived, right? And I remember being like, because, like, mum coming and giving it to me and being like, you're not very well, but this has just come. And I was like, I feel a bit better. Oh, you can go to school. Not, like, school better, but, like, Hercules better. So then I watched Hercules the film, just to get me like ready, and then I played Hercules, and I love that game. Like, that was awesome. But yeah, that was kind of my routine when I was off school as a kid. It was Jumanji. When I was really young, it was Star Wars. Sometimes the Back to the Future trilogy. I'd watch trilogies of films, because you could be like, I'll watch the first 2 in the morning, then I'll have some dinner. Like I'll have some soup or whatever, and then I'll watch the last one, and then everyone will be coming home from school at that time. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was kind of how I did it when I was really young. I've got other ones that I want to talk about as well, but I'll let you talk for a bit first.
No, you go.
Well, I recently had a knee operation last year, and I was like bedbound for 3 weeks, like completely. Couldn't do anything. I managed to do the podcast. I don't know how. Oh, it was audio then, wasn't it? One video, because that would have been interesting. So yeah, I was bedbound, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I can't remember which game it was that I ended up playing. I think it might have been Infamous Second Son, and I played the hell out of Infamous Second Son. I completed Infamous Second Son, and I played the Battlefront. That was it. I played the Battlefront games on PS2. Battlefront 1.
Did you play Killzone as well?
No, that was before then. I played Battlefront 1 and 2 on PS1, and just like, I love them games. And I was just that obsessed. And the thing with the Battlefront 2 especially, like, Battlefront 2 is harder than 1. And I remember it just being like 2 in the morning and being like, I need to do it. Like, it had that kind of like, I can do it this time factor to it. There's the Battlefront, especially when you do it on the hardest level. So I just played the crap out of the Battlefront games and ended up watching the Star Wars trilogy. So I kind of haven't really changed. No. To be honest.
Well, I've got like a couple of different things. So let me take you back to 1997.
Okay. We're there.
Probably November.
All right.
1997. Maybe very early December 1997.
Okay.
So Tomb Raider 2 had just come out. And
it's a good time
I was rehearsing for the Nativity play.
Okay.
Well, actually, it was I must have been. I think I was in the choir for it.
All right.
So it was I like choir rehearsals or whatever. I was on stage or whatever, and I was doing the high male parts.
All right. Yeah.
So.
He was a tenor.
Yeah. So incidentally, how much the tickets cost? Didn't. Be way too much for a school in the theatre.
Especially then.
Yeah. So I was doing the choir parts and everything, and I was like, fucking hell, I feel like, you know, when you just feel full on dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
When like
you get real hot and you start
man,
feeling a bit
sick,
drowsy
like, dizzy and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be sick, but I want sick. And I was like, oh fuck. So like we finished the song.
I'd love it if you
went,
was sick there. If it was like, and all the air doing the high five. I love the choir.
Hallelujah. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to bail to office, which the hall was right kind of where the office was. So I went out there and went to the office, and I was like full on white, like I'm normally black.
Angel Gabriel.
I'm normally black, but no, I was like full on like pit, and so I went to the office and they're like,
it's the ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah, because I used to all the time as a kid, and it still happens sometimes now. I used to get dehydrated all the time because you know how much I need to drink just to
you're ridiculous.
Survive as a human being.
You must drink, not exaggerating, 15 pints of water a day.
Probably more.
Probably
more. Yeah, that'd only be like one every more. Like I just
you
have
probably
to
drink
like,
3 every hour
constantly. Yeah, I have to drink constantly, like water, just pints of it.
Yeah.
I've never not been thirsty in my life.
That's bizarre.
Like if I've drink a pint of water and I'm like, I'm still thirsty, but the only reason I only drink like 2 or 3 an hour is just because it's a fucking pain in the ass.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah. So yeah, but I didn't know this then. You know, I was only a kid. And I like nearly passed out or whatever, and I went. And there was one time when I did like fully pass out at school from not drinking enough water. And so they rang my mum came, and picked me up. And I remember sat outside the office, and my mum came in, and again it was a similar situation where Electronics Boutique catalog. We'd ordered the game out of there, which I think Games Spot is Electronics Boutique.
Oh, okay.
Over there, or it used to be, or something like that in America. I'm not sure. But so I ordered that, and again, it was like it's just I don't fucking know when it's coming, and I didn't have this in my head at all. But my mum was it had come that day. Yeah. But I didn't know it'd come out.
Yeah, you had no way of knowing.
No way of knowing. But my mum was just adamant. I'd thrown a sickie just to go home and play this. So I went home and played it. And I remember just playing the house level for about
it's not even a level. It's just a hub.
But I'd started going home and I played it for about 4 hours, and I was like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
How do you finish it? Because obviously you can't. But I was just assumed like it was a level thing, and I was like, fucking hell, I'm stuck. So like I was like, all right, cool, I'll turn it off or whatever, and then I went back on it, and then noticed on the
you clicked on the passport. Yeah.
Whatever.
Anyway,
that bit. On that bit. And I went and clicked on the passport, new game, whatever, the green font, and then it come in with the on the helicopter.
Yeah. It's the police academy,
And then like it landed on the all that crap, where she's like where she's going down the road, gets on the thing, and then you go down the thingy, you fall down that cliff, and then you're greeted straight away by a lovely little tiger.
I love a little tiger.
Fucking blast the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I was fucking loving that. And then for seriously about 3 hours, I was just in that pond bit.
Oh, you didn't know how to climb up the cliff?
No, and I was like, I just didn't know what to do.
You were shit at games as a kid.
Yeah, no, I was really good at 2D games. It was the 3D transition. I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. So so I was kind of like swimming around in the water for a bit, and I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like trying to run and jump up stuff, but I just back down.
And every time you do that, a new tiger comes.
No, it doesn't. No, what happens is once you have to go, as soon as you go up, you climb up the first set of thingies and jump across the first, what is it? That's when the second tiger comes, and there's only 2.
But you never got up to that point?
No.
All right.
So I didn't even get up to there. So like eldest brother was like a half brother or whatever. I think he had the game or something, and like, so later on, like after I've been playing it for hours and hours, my dad was like, "Oh well, he'll have finished school now. We'll ring him up." So he rang up.
I love that the full family was involved in this problem. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, you just go up there and jump across that thing." And then because the controls were awful, it took me forever to like jump across and then. But like a few weeks in, like I beat the game and like I fucking beat that game 1,000 times. I used to love that game.
I beat it recently.
You didn't beat it, did you?
I've nearly beat it. Yeah. I stopped before the end because I played Metal Gear Solid instead.
So I went through and beat it. Not then, but. So that was kind of one. And then there was one where, like, I was in hospital as a kid. I was 14. And I needed, like, half my bowel removing.
Yeah.
I was, like... the surgeon reckoned I was, like, 20 minutes from dying, like, when I first went in. I'd, like, passed out and shit loads of times. And, like, my mum was like, "Oh, you're fine. Here's a Rennie Rapide." You know, one of them, like... stomach acid things. I munched packs of them, not thingy. So, anyway, when I went in, and then I was in the A&E, and you know they come and ask, because when I was a kid, like I never admitted I was in pain, you know. I was like tough guy and everything, and like so she came and she was like, "Oh, so what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?" Really, it was fucking a million because I was dying. But I was like, I don't know, 3, 4. So they put me to the bottom of the list because he's pain 3. What the fuck? So I was like sat for hours and hours and hours waiting. And they had to do like an emergency operation on me. And I was a few minutes from dying, and so they did this, and then I was in hospital for 6 weeks. For the first 4 weeks I couldn't get out of my bed because I did a lot of stuff.
Sorry.
And
like training for the choir.
Like using your ab muscles to get out was like. Just over sick. Drink plenty of water. Was like fucking havoc on me. And so I literally just I was just in a room by myself. At first I was in what's it called?
Intensive care?
Yeah, intensive care with like morphine on a fucking thing which I keep pressing. And then I went into my own like private little room, but there was like my bed would say it was against this wall here, and for audio listeners, it's just the way I'm sat. Well, my TV was on the same wall, but like in the top left-hand corner on like this shitty angle. Like, so like, it was the most painful thing to see it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching some episode of Friends was on like one night when I couldn't sleep or something like that. And it was that one where... like the Christmas foal or Christmas mole or something, like where you couldn't get like a Father Christmas outfit.
The holiday armadillo. Yeah.
And because I was ill and like because I was ill and couldn't laugh.
Yeah.
That fucking pissed me off. Like I was pissing myself laughing.
Because it's a really funny episode as well.
And I was just, and I was in so much pain, and I couldn't reach the remote to turn it off, and it became like funny or whatever. So that was like premiering on that night or whatever. And then, in fact, it was 2000. It was September the 11th when I came out of hospital.
Yeah, when you came out.
And I remember like going home and watching September the 11th happen on TV. And I was like, fucking hell. But yeah, so I don't even know what I did for 4 weeks, because the last 2 weeks I could go to the kids' room thing where they had like an SNES with Toy Story, because they had a PlayStation and a TV, but that had been nicked. So it was like, oh, I think
Toy Story's alright. I like that.
I've got like an SNES. I'd not played it up until that
Toy
point.
Story's alright.
I'd not played it. Like
Toy Story 2 on PlayStation 1 was an amazing game.
So there was that, and what other game did they have? Mario Kart. So I just like balled on them.
Don't know why he was complaining.
But I could only go down there for like an hour at a time or something like so. I don't really know what I did at that point.
Okay.
And then there was a point. I was in hospital. There's a point I was in hospital, like 2 years ago or something like that. Oh, my stomach was bleeding, and I was in hospital. And I had my own private room. And Bew, who used to be on the show, did you come and see me?
I came and see you a few times.
Well, Bew used to come.
I brought you colouring books.
You did bring me colouring books. Bew came, like, at the like 3 o'clock, you know.
Yeah,
like,
visiting time.
And would bring me Fosters. I was in hospital, and he'd like sneak it in a bag or whatever, and I'd like hide it like beside my bed and drink Fosters during the day. It was just fucking boring. What else do you do?
Well, you was all on like morphine and all that, and you for some reason you couldn't believe your luck with colouring books.
Oh, couldn't I?
You kept saying that's what you kept asking for, and I had to go and get you some Disney Princess colouring books. So I went and brought them for you, and then the next day you'd done them all. No, you had. You'd spent, I don't know if it was the morphine or what, but you'd spent hours doing colouring books and dot to dot and all that. To be fair, I'd do that. I'd do that now. If I could spend a day just
that was the name of the person seeing me.
Dr. Dot.
Yeah. So and then some bed like I'd not spoke to for fucking 8 years or something. Like would text me out of the blue, and she was like, "How are you doing?" She was like, "I'm back from Newcastle," because she'd moved to Newcastle. She was like, I was like, "Well, actually, I've just come into hospital," or whatever. And she was like, "I'll come visit you." And then I don't know if I've ever told this story.
I know the story. You haven't told it on the podcast, no.
Well, it's a bit long to go into, innit?
You end up sneaking out of the hospital with that girl, didn't you?
Yeah, and then like they were like calling my parents, like he's left. We don't know where he is.
He's ran away and all that. Yeah.
And I slept with that girl in
the hospital bed.
And
I worry about her morals.
She was lovely, and if she's listening, which I doubt it, I left my watch at your house like the week after the hospital. I kind of slept at hers. Like I left my watch, so if you could retain my penguin watch, I'd be really happy. But so yeah, and then the doctors came to take me down for some sort of like operation or something, like literally as we was finishing, and they were like open the door and like I put her under like the covers real quick. She was like next to me. I was like, I was just having a cuddle like before I got down. She was like, all right, I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll get dressed real quick. So yeah, that was a bit weird. Yeah. Hospital trip.
So that's what you do at hospital. I play Hercules and watch Star Wars.
I drink and fuck Sliz.